Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's that time of week again. It's Chris's craft challenge and I'm very nervous. I don't think I've ever been so nervous about a card ever before. I know what is in here. He has given me a very specific card he wants me to make. I've taken a look at it and I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. But I know you guys love the unveiling, so I've still put it in the box. We're gonna go through this together, but this could be a failure, and I don't know if I've ever had many cards, mainly shaker cards, that have been an absolute failure, but this has the potential to be. So we're gonna go through it together. At the end, I'm probably gonna ask for some tips and tricks on this because I really don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it, but I'm going to open the box and show you what he wants me to make. So, he has been through and picked a couple of new bits out of my goodie boxes. I have been set an alternative challenge. I've already recorded my first video, which will go up tomorrow, that was from box 1. So I've only allowed him to grab something from box 1. And he's picked these bits out. So, he has challenged me to do 2 cards. He would really like me to make a card out of this set, which I've said I will do. That's the easy bit. I'm going to do that last because that will be a really easy card to put together. But he's grabbed the deluxe craft pad, which I have used. So this is giving you a little sneak peek. I have made a card out of this on my craft challenge that will be loaded up tomorrow. That was a challenge that one of you guys set. Shelley, thank you so much. I loved that challenge. But he has challenged me to make this card here at the front, and I'm very nervous indeed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. I am certainly going to try. I believe with this card they have just used the decorative card as the base. I don't want to, if I can get away with it. I am going to try and use a card blank. I don't know how well this is going to go. I've grabbed the couple of knives that I have available to me because I know I'm going to have to use a knife to cut this. I've got my cutting pad underneath. I've also got a metal ruler to help me do the straighter lines. I'm not sure which one of these knives is going to work for me. This one is one that I got from Temu. I don't think this is going to be any good at all, but I've taken it out my drawers anyway. This one is one from Crafter's Companion, I believe. Or is it a Hunky Dory one? I'm not sure now. I do quite like it, but the blade spins and moves and I find it a little bit difficult to control it. This one is a really old knife, and if I'm honest, I have no idea where this came from. It has a far bigger blade, but it probably could do with replacing, and I don't have any replacement blades. So we're just going to have to see which one of these works. I'm going to take these bits out. These are just some spare bits from the card I made for tomorrow's video. But let's move this out of the way. There is my cutting mat. I'm just going to use this one. It's a Hunky Dory one. So he wants me to make this card here. So I'm going to grab the bits I need and then I can close that up and use that as an inspiration. So, sorry, I've just hit you with that. Now, it uses this topper here, but the frame that is also part of this, I actually used on the card for tomorrow. So I can't use that, but I am going to take out the sentiment that matches. I guess this might class as like a fancy fold card, maybe. I may use one of these strips as well. I'm not sure yet. But let me find the cardstock. Luckily, I didn't use the cardstock that I need for this one. So this one uses this. So let's take this out. Right, I'm going to leave this where I can see it because I really want to be able to see which parts I'm going to be cutting away. So it looks like I'm going to be cutting against this line here, going round the butterflies and then going round this gorgeous peacock, which is the bit I'm a little bit nervous about. I think I'm going to need probably a 6x6 for this. Yeah, I think they've done it on a 6x6, haven't they? I've got a feeling a 5x5 is going to be too small. That is a 5x5. Do you know what? I actually think I could do this on a 5x5. Let's do it up. Let's try. Let's try and do this on a 5x5 card. I think that would still work. Because if we're cutting against this line, you're still going to have this little bit and this little bit here. And a 5x5 would work better for the bit of butterfly that I've got left. So we're going to go for a 5x5. So I'm going to start by folding this. Now, I have no instructions on how this was actually made. So this in itself could be a bit of a mystery. So what I'm going to start off by doing, and I've no idea if this is right, but let's go with the motions. Right. I can't find my pencil, so what I want to do is I'm just going to put a little mark there, and I'm going to put another little mark here. And then this is where my card needs to be cut at. I need to come across this line here to cut this entire section of my card away. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it with one of these knives. Let's try. I think my black knife is probably going to be the bet. I'm hoping I'm on camera here. See how we're looking at that. Nearly there. Let's try and come in a little bit now with the scissors. There we go. Then I'm going to snip along this line here. Trust me to have a day where I've got a nerve trapped somewhere in my back. Right. I'm so nervous, guys. Right. So that has now made us that front piece, look. And then when I've cut this out, that should sit nicely a little bit bigger than that front piece, which I'm happy with because it means it's going to be totally covered. Right. So now I've got to try and get this out. Oh my goodness. Right. Let's follow these straight lines first. So try and come in at the top of the dark line, I think. And if anybody is watching this and has any better tips on how to do this card, please do let me know. But I'm going to risk it and I'm going to come in here. Just up until that butterfly wing. Like so. Then we're going to come in after the butterfly wing and before the peacock. Then we come in after the peacock, before this butterfly wing here. I'm going in 3 times just to try and make sure I cut as much of this cardstock as I can. And then we go in after the butterfly wing, straight to the end. I think most of those have gone at least most of the way through, look. Try and follow that line, so that's now cut away. These ones this side haven't quite cut through, look. I can actually take that one a bit further down. So that's now the butterfly cut part, and there's just this section here. There we go. I think I've now cut through on the straight lines. Yeah, it certainly looks better than it did. So now I need to cut round these pieces. So I think because it looks the most complicated, I'm going to try and go around this peacock. So let's see how we go. Try and apply nice, even pressure. Sounds like I know what I'm doing and I have no idea. I'm going to go back in. Try doing it in stages, I think. Let's see how we're looking. Right, we've got that bit cut. So I'm going to turn this round and start to work this way. Let's try and cut this bend here. Right, I've got that bit free. So next is the head. So I need to come to just there, and then have they kept them on? Have they cut them off actually? I think it actually looks like they've cut the top piece off to make it easier, because there's actually these like the little bits on top of the head, but I can't see them on this picture. But I feel like that's part of it, isn't it? So let's try it. I guess with this bit, because it's so little, if I mess it up, we can just chop them off. It's fine. So let's try coming up here. I'm going to follow this around. I'm just going to, like say, see how we're looking. Round like so, and straight down. Round and straight down. That's all cut away. I'm not sure that this is though. I think it might be. Let me just keep going around the face. I'm using quite a bit of pressure, and I think it is going through onto the board. Yes, I've got them. I've got them cut, guys. So that's where we are so far. Goodness me, this is such a challenge. Right. Up through here. Now how we're looking. Right, so we've now got his face free. Curl it round and come down. Curl it round and come down here like so. And then I'm going to come round here. And then come down to that join there. Oh, he's free. He's free. Right, I'm going to go in for the butterflies now. I'm so excited. Right, so let's go from the top here. Around like so. And then around the butterfly like that. Still gripped somewhere. There we go. So far we have that cut apart. This is being held on just by that tip of that butterfly. So let's cut it away. I did it. I did it. Maybe not the best cutting, but it looks okay. I certainly thought I'd do a lot worse job than that. What do we think, guys? And then this will then sit on here just like so. I'm so excited. I did it. And the way that I cut the inside look, to be fair, it looks fairly neat because it's got the same lip the entire way through. It is the inside of the card. The outside is the beautiful bit. Oh, right, let's get that stuck down. I'm just going to use a bit of wet glue, to be fair, because I want to be able to make sure I put this in the right position, because I don't have much play with this. So we're going to use the wet glue. I'm going to get this so it's at least attached. Now I'm going to do this on the card blank because this is the bit that's the smallest piece. And I'm going to take the piece that I've cut out and line this up against that. There we go. How beautiful is that? And actually, now I've done it and got over the initial like nerves of cutting around that, I think that looks okay. It's actually going to be a really beautiful card look. Right, I'm just going to give that a minute. I don't know what I've done. I usually put like a book on top of it, but we'll put this on. So let's have another look at this design. So this is the one that they've got on the front of their book. So we've done that section, and then the next bit is to pop this on the front there. So let's give this a trim. We'll actually attach this with some foam tape to give it some dimension. There we go. So I've just taken the little notches off of that. So that's our gorgeous sentiment that we're going to use. Now, on the inside part, they use this top section of this card, which I can absolutely use without a problem. They use this, and then they actually had an outer frame that was part of a topper that I used for the other video. So I don't actually have that. So this is where I think I might do something a little bit different. Although I think the main emphasis was on this front cut section, which we've achieved. So we've got this. It looks like they've backed it onto some gold mirror. I don't actually have any bigger pieces of gold mirror, and I don't think my little pieces fit. I think I've tried before. Yeah, they're nowhere near. So I can't do the gold mirror backing. I really need to invest in some bigger gold mirror. I've got silver, but this definitely looks better on the gold. But do you know what I could use? Just had a thought. I don't have gold mirror. I know I don't have gold mirror, but I do have this. And I actually have an offcut sheet here. Not to give too much away. I actually have this offcut sheet. So now I'm thinking that instead of using the gold, which would absolutely match perfectly, I'm not going to lie. What I might actually do is line my card with this one instead. And then cut this one down with that sort of border instead. It's still those sort of colours that I'm playing with. And then we could have this, which also plays into these colours within this. And I might use one of the border strips instead. Maybe just a little strip along the bottom. Yeah, let's go with that. What do we say? I think I'm going to go for that. So what I am just going to do ever so slightly is trim just a little slither extra off this bit. Is just a little slither. Then I'm going to use my double-sided tape for this bit. Trying to be careful with my front because I know that is still drying slightly. I have got my ATG tape on order, but it's not come yet, so I'm still using my double-sided tape. So then I'm going to take this. I think if I line it up that way, we're certainly going to get a lot of the colours. Might not get too much of the yellow, but that's okay. I think I prefer the blues and greens on this section anyway. So I'm going to line it from the top. There. There we go. My card still shuts, which is always good. Let's flip this over and trim this down a little bit. I normally do this with my bigger scissors, but they've gone AWOL. I don't know where they've gone. Somebody's borrowed them and not brought them back, haven't they? So that is how we're looking. I mean, that is beautiful anyway. I think that is stunning. But let's bring back that, and I'm going to bring in my cutter. I'm going to measure my card base. It's supposed to be a 5x5, but I find these are not always the most accurate. Just under 5, look. Pretty close actually for these. By just under 5. I'm going to come in ever so slightly with this because I haven't quite lined that up as nicely as I'd have liked, so just going to give that a very tiny trim. I've only taken off a slither, but now there's absolutely no white across the top. So we are at just under 5 by just under 5, weren't we? So I do want to show off some of this gorgeous mirror in the background. So if we were about there, I think I'm going to come in around here so we've got some of that. And I'm still going to get all of this across the top too. So put that away. And come in roughly the same place. Put that away. So this is now going to sit nicely just inside there, look. And we're going to still have that gorgeous mirror on the background. So get some white glue just because it's easier. And what I really should have done is actually put a strip of that rim of that border down first, but it's too late now. The glue is on. Just lined up. There we go. I actually think on looking, because that's going to cover that, we don't need the border, do we? I don't think so. So that is now that's stuck. I'm going to use some foam tape with that as well, but I'm actually going to use this thinner one because I think that will just mean it's not quite so thickly stuck. Definitely too big. Make sure that's the right way. One in there though. So when it stands, you'll see both the cup out bit and the butterfly bit. And then what I can always do is just give that an extra burnish along here. There we go, look. And then we just, oh, I've just sent it flying. We just need to pop the sentiment on the front. I'm just going to stick with this thinner one. And this can sit right there. What do you guys think? I think we did it. I think we hit the brief there. Oh, I'm so happy. I can't believe, I did not think I would be able to do that. I really expected that to be a failure. But how pretty is that card? I absolutely love it. It's not exactly the same as what he showed, but I think that's certainly a close enough match to pass that part of the challenge. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Now the second part was to try and make a second card, this time with the You've Passed collection. So let's do it. Let's do it. We might as well, hadn't we, guys? So let's have a look at this kit. I'm going to try and go for just like a normal to me card. So it shouldn't take too long, to be fair. So what we got? I can go for a really small card using one of these, or a bigger card using that. Shall we go for the bigger card? Let's go for this one. I'm going to go for this. And we'll grab the congrats. And then we're going to go for this one, because this one has those L plates ripped down the side. And it's perfect for the I've passed a driving test. So let's trim this down, get rid of these little notches. So that's that done. This has got two borders, so we're going to take the outer one. I like that outer one. Keep that one. Put that to one side for another card at some point. There we go. Now I think this is going to go on a 6x6, just because of the size of this topper. Trim these bits off. They're just the little notches inside. I do try to trim them. There we go. So that's my bits and pieces cut. I'm going to grab a 6x6 card. So I think that should then fit. Yeah, perfect. Any smaller than that and my topper won't fit. So let's bring back my cutter. Measure my card blank first. 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So it's definitely not a 6x6. So let's cut this at 5 1/2. 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Then I think I'm going to go for a top fold card on this one. So let's, there isn't really a direction as such, but let's get this glued on. There we go. And then I think for this one we're going to have a flat frame and the lifted teddy bear. Sometimes I change it up. Sometimes I do a lifted frame and a flat topper. Sometimes I do both lifted. Sometimes I've done both flat. Just depends what I fancy. There we go. That's my frame on. Then I'm going to grab my foam tape. It's all stuck to everything. Make sure your topper is the right way. There we go. And then I'm also going to lift up this sentiment. There we go. A beautiful congratulations card for anybody who has passed their driving test. And then this fabulous peacock card. Let me know what you think. Do you like the peacock card? Would you like to see me do more of these like fancy fold style cards in future? I've never made one like this before. I was very, very nervous. But I think it went okay. I think it definitely could have looked a lot worse than it does. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of these two cards? I think that was a really good challenge. Definitely tested my abilities today. But I've actually really enjoyed it, and I think I might start doing more of these style cards. I think that looks absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. Bye for now.